We are just about to pass through Gronder Field. We should be in view of Fort Merceus soon.
Okay, so I had to very hastily press the home button because a cutscene happened. So here we are.
It looks like the battle made quite an impact. The Imperial Army has lost some of its luster. We should be able to invade the fort without too much trouble.
Yes, but at what cost? See, yeah, there's a lot I could say about this battle being skipped on this route. It's like, on the one hand, I can see why the army wouldn't have been able to provide aid to Gustav and Dmitri immediately, but on the other hand, us not being there kinda resulted in this battle being a bloodbath for all three sides, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that.
Yes, we must win for them as well.
Professor, the soldiers have finished changing into their disguises. We are ready to masquerade as Imperial troops and infiltrate the fort.
So, I talked with someone who had played the Golden Deer route to confirm one of my suspicions. Yes, this plan is actually something that happens on the Golden Deer route. On this route, it seems a bit weird that, like, it's never really talked about in cutscenes. You have to talk to people in Garrick Mock to actually realize this is what's going on. And it makes more sense on the Golden Deer, I think, due to Claude's schemes. In fact, apparently, and this just makes me love Hilda even more, it's a plan that Hilda suggests half-jokingly. Hilda just really is that character who always has the best ideas without ever realizing it. Like, she reminds me of, like, Cher in Persona 4 did that quite a lot as well. But, like, she was the first one, like, she was the only one to suspect Monica in the entire academy, way back before the time skip. It's just, I don't know, I love that about Hilda.
I believe this was your idea, was it not?
Oh, right, it was Violet's idea, and we didn't get to see it because Violet's a silent protagonist. That makes sense.
It is impossible to take Fort Merceus with a frontal assault. We must take it from within.
I can just imagine, Bart going, wait a minute, now that you mention it, yes, it was my idea. Reality retroactively alters itself to make it Violet's idea. Because that's kind of what it feels like here. I feel like it's definitely handled better on the Golden Deer route. And, I'm sorry, but Dmitri kind of did take it with a frontal assault on his route.
We will infiltrate the fort as Imperial troops and kill the enemy general. All preparations are complete.
But seeing as we have to, you know, have an actual battle on our hands, I wonder how this is gonna go. Like, obviously, we have to be found out.
According to the scout reports, my father and the others are not inside the fort.
Okay, that's good.
Seems they were moved to the front lines of the kingdom's western region.
Why are you laughing?
The Death Knight became the general of this fort after the battle at Gronder Field.
What? The Death Knight? I think I'll be taking a break now. You guys go on ahead.
Bernadetta, you cannot be hiding on a field. The enemy will be seeing you.
We're not gonna be in a field, we're gonna be in a fortress. I'm sure there are plenty of places to hide there.
No place to hide. I guess I have no choice but to fight.
The Death Knight. I hear that he is counted among the greatest heroes of the Empire at the moment.
And yet, apparently on Crimson Flower, he just vanishes from the plot entirely after the time skip. It's just like, oh, he's fighting on other fronts right now. We're not gonna get his help.
We never determined whether or not he was truly Yuritsa.
Well, considering Seth was the one to raise the suspicions in the first place, it's kind of fitting for Seth to be bringing this up now.
So, in capturing Merceus, we have encountered another obstacle.
I wonder if Seth has special boss dialogue. Because, like, come to think of it, like, I mean, you know, there's Mercedes, you know, with him being Emil, but Seth is one of the few people who'd really have a personal reaction to him being Yuritsa because he was a member of the faculty.
I suppose you have a point. If we challenge him again with conviction, we are sure to attain victory.
The impenetrable fortress city of Aryan Road goes by the name Silver Maiden.
Okay, how is that relevant here?
Yet she pales in
There we go.
comparison to Fort Merceus, the stubborn old general. Those who approach are driven back, but once we make our way in, it's all ours.
Didn't I joke that the stubborn old general was the Silver Maiden's ex-boyfriend in my Blue Lions playthrough?
That fort has been brought to life on stage for countless operas.
Let us commence. We must puncture a hole in the Empire's defenses.
That man approaches. Will Death's scythe claim you? Or will I fall to that sword of yours?
Either way, I don't have much relevance in this plot. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't particularly like the Death Knight all that much. There is some suggestion that the reason why he's so obsessed with fighting Byleth is that he wants to die, I think, but I don't know. Yeah, pretty sure I don't have any new supports. But I could, so off-screen, I did actually get lucky and pass the exam for Lorenz becoming a Dark Knight, which is just a reskin Death Knight, actually. Or rather, the Death Knight's a reskin Dark Knight. But in terms of other people, I could attempt, where are you? Yeah, I could attempt Bow Knight Leone. 69. Well, it's certainly possible. I could also attempt Gremory for, Lysithea. Okay, good, she passed. So now I have 2 Bow Knights running around. I am running out of money, for repairing weapons, though, so I'm gonna need to fix that. Because, yeah, I sucked so badly at the tournament this month, that's kind of why I'm so poor right now. Because, of course, Lysithea can't participate because she doesn't have any non-dark magic. Or I could attempt... Holy... that's a bad pass rate. And it's gonna screw over your speed. But it's definitely possible. Because Lysithea, like, let's be honest, she does not need to be a Gremory right now. Even her movement isn't that much of a problem, considering that she has the extra range from her staff. Also, like, I'm thinking of doing something interesting with Ignatz. If I get his skills up higher, I might actually be able to make Ignatz a mortal savant, and make him this insane hybrid of swords, bows, and magic. Which wouldn't be that bad. Just my idea for him right now. Yeah, Petra's a Wyvern Lord. I think everyone else is fine. Like, I'm okay with Ferdinand staying as a Paladin rather than as a Dark Knight. So let's just save and attempt Holy Knight. But it's probably gonna fail. Oh yeah, those music notes took an annoyingly long time to show up. I was in suspense for a while there.
I passed?
Yes, you did. Nice one. Okay, so Marianne can be a sword master? Okay, that's weird. I guess she is trained in swords, but still. Alright, that's probably enough. I can save on the preparation screen. Let's go. Taking Fort Merceus. So, here's the thing. Are we gonna get discovered? I guess we'll find out. Because if we get discovered, like, without any fanfare, like, if it cuts straight to the preparation screen, then, I don't know, it'd be kind of weird.
At Gronder Field, the armies of the Kingdom, Alliance, and Empire collide. The 3 forces engage in a fierce battle, each suffering significant losses before deciding to withdraw. Seeing an opportunity, the Resistance Army quickly plots an invasion of Imperial territory. In order to gain a foothold in the Empire, they will attempt to capture Fort Merceus.
This really is kind of like, it's even more of a neutral route than Claude's, because in this one we're kind of like that wildcard faction who's just taking advantage of the chaos to swoop in and, well, we're doing it for a good cause, but we kind of are just swooping in and, wrapping and mopping up the leftovers ourselves. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, we do cut straight to the preparation screen, so I guess our infiltration was successful. We just, yeah, go here. We just, you know, we're inside the fort now, so we just fight. And, okay. Defeat the enemy commander, no other commanders except the Death Knight. There aren't any big hulking demonic beasts this time, just these ones. So that's different. Oh, I remember having some annoying reinforcements show up there on the other route. No, you're just an Imperial soldier, not an Imperial general, so you weren't going to be someone if we didn't recruit you. No, just another soldier. Evasion ring, that might be not bad. I do like how enemies with drawable items are clearly marked on the map screen. That definitely helps in figuring out who to prioritize if you're not going for a straight route. And, oh boy, yep, not doing the paralog means you still have the Scythe of Sariel. That's now officially confirmed to me, although I'm sure comments have already pointed it out by now. You are strong on hard. Yes, but not strong enough. I have the Spiker Supreme, the horror of horses, the death dealer of death knights. Yes, this is going to go very, very smoothly, hopefully. Well, we'll have to take out that guy, though. Oh, yeah, Seraphim. Which is going to be a bit weird because we don't have any monsters on our side. You know what? Like, one thing that I thought would be cool, like, imagine actually like, apart from Manichees, but, like, imagine a playable monster in a Fire Emblem game. Like, I kind of had that idea if I ever did a ROM hack, like a sympathetic Revenant or something. Like, that'd be kind of cool. Or, like, a Bone Walker, who is, like, a hero from an ancient battle who's been resurrected by, like, the villains, but isn't controlled by them, and they decide to side with you. Like, actually, that kind of sounds a bit like, Medieval, that PlayStation game. By the time this video goes up, that remaster will probably have been released. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Okay, so units. Who am I not bringing here? Ignatz and Caspar. Oh, not even bringing Sedith or Petra either, so... I want to try you out now that you're a Holy Knight, and I want to try you out now that you're a Dark Knight, but I have been using Leonie and Bernadetta quite a bit lately. Leonie just became a, Actually, hang on a second. Swap that bow back. Leonie just became a Bow Knight, though. And I obviously need Lysithea just in case I need to Dark Spike the Death Knight. Do I really need Raphael? Probably not. I kind of want to bring Ignatz. This is the problem with recruiting so many characters. Caspar... Maybe Caspar shouldn't be here. He'd kind of be fighting his former countryman. Then again, Linhard is too. I mean, I don't know if I particularly need Ferdinand here either. I kind of want Sedith. I also kind of want Petra too. I have been using Leonie for quite a bit. Maybe I should go with this setup. Okay, you have an A rank in battalion, so there's no reason not to use an A rank battalion on you. Of course, I only... Oh, no, I do have these. Actually, Retribution might not be a bad idea here. Okay, so where's that new battalion that we got? Ordelia Sorcery Company. Kind of worse than the Gloucester Knights, but it does give you a big AoE lightning attack. Or a big hurdy lightning, as the case may be. Okay, I think it should be good. Let's go.
Report. A group posing as Imperial soldiers has infiltrated. They seem to be affiliated with the Church.
Close the gates. Leave no survivors.
Well, so much for stealth. Okay. Ah. But there's not really much of a reason to stop reinforcements if we can just make a beeline for the boss and take him out quickly. And we have this song playing now. Well, that's fun. Yeah, I had a feeling we'd have this song playing, like, now.
Too close for my liking.
Well, I mean, it usually plays after Gronder on all the routes, except, you know, because I'm pretty sure the Battle of Gronderfield doesn't even happen on Crimson Flower, but anyway.
What's my strat?
This song has definitely grown on me, more than I thought it would. Oh, I can actually reach it with my Legend Sword. Which I'm doubling with way less than I did on the other route, but I guess that's because I didn't take Byleth through Thief on this one, so his speed's not that great.
Let's make this quick.
So, I guess right now I can talk a little bit about where I think the, where I think this route might be going from here. So, I've heard that it is basically the Deer route with one less chapter. So that would mean the battle at Gronder Field is the, well, one less chapter.
Steady now.
So, what that means is, my guess is that this is going to be Fort Merceus. The next chapter is going to be the Streets of the Empire, so the same map as Chapter 21 of the Blue Lions. The map after will be fighting Edelgard. That'll be Chapter 19. Then Chapter 20 will be Those Who Slither in the Dark, and I'm guessing I know... So yeah, I have a vague inkling of exactly what's going to happen in that... Not exactly what's going to happen in that chapter, but I do kind of know that Those Who Slither in the Dark have a main base, quote-unquote, and I think the chapter is going to be there. So that, I think, is what that chapter will end up being. And then, of course, the final chapter, and I have a fairly solid idea of what the final chapter will be, but... I suppose we'll find out, but I've got a pretty good guess as to what the final chapter is going to be. Let's just say that, again, it was my guess as to... Can I Gerald's Mercenaries you in the face? I can, but it's not going to do much. It was my guess as to, what the final boss of the church route would be, on the Blue Lions route. I still think that's going to be the final boss of this one. But, again, we'll see what ends up happening.
I do this for all of us.
Oh, just barely out of range. Or am I?
Pretty good, huh? I'll do my best.
I suppose Marianne can head this way?
Thank you.
Because I'm pretty sure we're not going to fight Hegemon Edelgard in this route. I'm pretty sure it's instead going to just be, we'll finally be seeing her real second post-time skip class. But that, like, just makes me wonder, like, what about the map itself? Like, are we still going to fight her on the same map we did on Blue Lions?
I must lead them well.
Because I feel like they wouldn't reuse a map for, like, because I mean, technically speaking, like, I know what the final map of Crimson Flower is right now, and technically speaking, that is a reused map, except it's on fire. But, like, you'd think that every route's final map, like, itself, would be totally unique. Oh, okay, there are going to be a lot of reinforcements, right. Those could easily get out of hand. So I'm not sure if we are going to fight her on the same map as the Blue Lions final map, or if it's going to be a bit different. Because, like, I feel like that map's a bit too big to just be fighting regular old human Edelgard on. Who, ironically, like, to be honest, I actually think is going to be tougher than Hegemon Edelgard. Yeah, I mean, that was a good final chapter. The final boss was just not part of that. She was pretty pathetic. And I've heard that, again, like, I've said this before, but I've heard that that's actually not a hard mode thing, that she really is just that pathetic on all difficulties.
It's done.
This part of the song sounds very Fire Emblem 4-ish as well. Oh, wow, oh, well, that's because I have, Darting Blow. So I guess Darting Blow is good for something. I was going to unequip it at the start of this map, but good thing I decided not to.
I'm alright.
Yeah, that's not going to work. That could lower you into range of Ignuts, though. Yeah, I've heard it's actually not hard to one-turn this chapter. So I guess we'll find out. Well, I mean, we're not going to find out because I'm not even going to attempt to one-turn this chapter, even if I wanted to, but...
Thank you.
Actually, I could probably attempt that if I wanted to, but... No, I don't
Steady
think
now.
I'll do that on this run, is what I meant to say.
No mercy.
Guess he's going to equip that from now on. Alright, now one Fortress Knight Lorenz can handle. Multiple at once, not so much. Actually, how many spells do you have, Thoron? No, you just have Fire, Sagittarius, and Ragnarok, okay. Because So I don't exactly like the idea of Lorenz running in and getting smacked by a whole ton of things. Ooh, especially not if he's getting doubled. Oh, and an assassin can get to him from there too. That's also not good.
Behold our strategy.
I might as well do this. Just to distract you. No, that's Ballista. It's also Ballista. And it's a bit too late for him to dismount. Yeah, that will not end well for Lorenz, so let's not do that. I don't even think 2 Fortress Knights attacking him is a good idea. Two Fortress Knights plus 1 Ballista. I don't really like that either. I've also found out in comments that I actually would have been forced to kill Caspar and Linhardt here on the other route if I hadn't recruited them, so good thing I recruited them. And can I? Yes, I think I can actually snipe you. Go Bow Knights. Yeah, I will say archers are definitely good in this game. And I'm glad for that. 1 to 5 range is really useful. Yeah, she's kind of getting better now. And here come the reinforcements. Is that just an unpromoted armor knight? Really? What sick death knight sends unpromoted babies to fight me? Okay. Could you crit here or crest, please? Also, could you maybe not get attacked by anyone else this turn? Otherwise, you might die. Oh, okay. I was thinking you were going to use a long-range spell or something. My heart skipped a beat for a second. Hello, Mr. Big Beast. So, I guess, like, now I could also mention, like, that thing that I was going to say, it was about, like, the Von Ayers and, basically what happened in the previous paralogue. It's really, really interesting, I find. That's... I guess that's a decent idea.
Let's do our part.
I can always dance for her once I've broken the armor.
Tables.
And just have her go full ham. Bowbreaker. Yeah, I think I'd heard that Warlock's got that. She does not one-shot, which is great. Now we'll gambit away the rest of your armor.
Let's bring them down.
I like how Geralt's mercenaries are wearing an insignia that's kind of similar to Byleth's default color scheme. More umbral steel. So yeah, so what I was saying is that, like, it's really interesting the way that they handle,
Thanks so much.
he doesn't even have a first name, does he? He's just Duke von Ayer, or the Prime Minister. But Ferdinand's father, like, in any other Fire Emblem, they'd probably just make him, you know, kind of like Lekane, the cartoonishly evil noble. In this one, like, yeah, he's bad, but it's still a little bit nuanced, like how they portray him. In that, like, not everything bad that went on in his territories is his fault. Like, again, it's not like Lekane, where he's responsible for almost everything bad in that setting. And, like, don't get me wrong, I actually do, like, kind of, well, yeah, I do like Lekane. He's just that kind of villain that you love to hate. But this game is interesting in that its view of corrupt nobles is kind of, like, more nuanced. Like, corrupt nobles definitely exist, but they're not treated as, like, again, like, the source of everyone's problems, and there are bad things that go on that are not directly their fault either. And even then, like, you still feel kind of bad for Duke Von Aya because he ended up dying due to something that he didn't do. It's just it's interesting. Like, it's something that I've seen in a lot of media that is something that I've always been very conflicted about when, like, a bad person gets kind of sort of karmic justice, but for something that they didn't actually do. It's kind of like almost revenge by proxy, except not really. Oh, I only have one Ragnarok left. Well, if you're gonna get doubled by everything anyway, I may as well use that. And you crit anyway.
Our quarrel wasn't personal.
You're really tough.
Yeah, that's not good.
I have faith.
But I could Gambit to freeze you. And if I do that, I should probably dismount first.
Commence!
Sorry, I'm having a hard time collecting my thoughts here, but there's like I didn't find that to be, like, you know, that particularly, like, as bad as some other examples. Like, he didn't, like, it's funny, like, it's a case where you can't help but feel bad for what happened to him, but you also feel like, yeah, he definitely wasn't the best person, and he kind of deserved a bad fate, but again, maybe, you know, not like that. Maybe there should have been due process. It's not like, okay, so there's one particularly extreme case of that I've encountered in, like, this one murder mystery that I watched that I just found really, like, I still absolutely hate that episode. Like, I just, it still really, really bothers me, like, on a personal level, what happens in that episode. And I think it's just because they were trying to do a whole pay evil onto evil situation, which, admittedly, like, if you know my thoughts on Edelgard, you kind of know how I feel about pay evil onto evil. In that, namely, I don't really like it, and I think it causes more problems than it solves. But anyway, like, that was clearly what they were going for in this particular circumstance. In that, essentially, like, you know, so there's, like, here's the plot. Like, these two people, no, actually, no, it's not these two people. Like, someone frames, these two people for murder. Like, they murder someone and pin it on them. And then it turns out that basically these two girls they actually killed this guy's, like, mentally handicapped sibling in the past, and so he basically just sort of wanted revenge. Well, not revenge, he was more like they never really received punishment for the crime. They got found not guilty, like, in court, and he wanted to make sure they got punished for it. Him and I think one accomplice. But the way that the story presents it, it did it in such a way that I couldn't help but feel really bad for the people who were supposed to come across as having deserved it. And I think it's like, because, like, what happens is, like, okay, yeah, no, it's different to this, because, like, this is, you know, totally unrelated to this, but I think what makes it so frustrating is that the detective actually proves the truth of the case. He says in court exactly what happened. Like, he unravels the entire murder plot, explains that these two people, despite, you know, again, having been guilty in the past, are innocent this time, and that there was all this plot to frame them. And again, like, he explains the whole thing perfectly. Like, he gets the absolute truth, like, right down. And the jury doesn't believe him and finds these two people guilty, which, for one, like, that's one thing that just makes me really angry. But on the other hand, like, it shows them being led into prison and just this horrible look of despair on their faces. I just feel like, and, like, it was, like, over 20 years ago that they actually killed this guy, and I just feel like, at this point, like, I don't know, like, basically, like, you were supposed to feel like they got what they deserved, but in the end, like, I just ended up feeling bad for them. They just came across as unintentionally sympathetic to me. Because I still just don't really approve of someone receiving justice for a crime that was not the one they committed. Oh, I knew that would happen. Yeah, that was death by awesomeness, wasn't it? It was. I have to rewind. Because, like, Marianne would die if I didn't do that. Is the only way for me to succeed with this to unequip my weapon and then to gambit you, or at least equip a weapon that won't kill you? No, that's definitely not going to kill you. Of course, I have to dismount as well.
Behold our strategy. Allow me to demonstrate another victory.
Uh-oh. Well, I got a bajillion assassins converging on me now, but anyway. I think I actually have a gambit that can get them all, though. Yeah, that would get them all. That's not a terrible idea. Of course, I need to find some way to get Seth out of there. He's in a bit of a problem. He's in a bit of trouble right now. Although I can always physic him with, like, Linhardt. Let's actually do that immediately. Anyway, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that tangent, but it's more like one other thing that always bugged me about that episode as well is that, like, so I think the thing that really kind of bugs me about it is that when the detective finds out, that these people, were only doing it to frame someone they felt was guilty, he lets them get away with it. Like, completely lets them get away with murdering someone just to frame these two people. And, like, I'm pretty sure the person they murdered was not involved either. Like, it was just like in order to have the framing happen. But worse than that, somebody completely unrelated to the entire mess commits suicide because of the whole thing. So, effectively, they're responsible for that death, too, in their attempt to get revenge or vigilante justice. And they get away with that, like, completely scot-free. It's just like, I suppose it's like in taking down someone they felt was, deserving of justice, they themselves became just as bad, if not worse. And, well, that makes them sound like Edelgard now, but I won't even get into that just yet. I have more to say about that when we actually inevitably fight Edelgard on this route. But I don't know, it's a bit of a weird tangent. Basically what I was trying to say is, it didn't feel like that. Like, I didn't feel completely bad for Duke Aya, but on the other hand, it felt more nuanced than your typical corrupt nobility story.
Let's give this a try.
Like, he wasn't responsible for everything bad that went on in that region, and he ended up getting killed for something that wasn't his fault, and yeah, it's like, you do slightly feel bad for him, but also not, I don't know, it's complicated, I'll just say, and it normally isn't complicated with corrupt nobles in Fire Emblem. Normally, like, they always deserve what they get, and they're always seen as, just completely, just outright evil, so it's kind of interesting the way this game handles it. Like, another example that I could give is Hubert's father. Hubert certainly considers his father irredeemably evil, but if you get Hubert's support with Hanneman, it actually provides a different side of the story, where Hanneman kind of says, you know what, maybe there was more to it than that. Maybe your father wasn't that awful, like, wasn't as completely awful as you think he was. And that, maybe you didn't need to kill him. And that's interesting. Just like, again, there's a lot more nuance to this game than your typical Fire Emblem. It's like, I was talking with a family member about the whole Edelgard thing, and they were saying, like, oh, is the series usually this complicated, like, in terms of morality? And I was just like, no. No, Fire Emblem is usually very black and white. So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, while Duke Aya kind of fell on the side of very heavily grey, he still wasn't entirely morally, like, 100% black and white evil. And it's just kind of interesting, because, again, like I said, normally in Fire Emblem, corrupt nobles do tend to be 100% evil, and just blatantly, obviously bad, and their deaths are just like, yeah, their deaths obviously needed to happen. And, you know, you don't feel bad for them at all. Unless they're a Camus character and you're kind of meant to feel bad for them, but the game does a terrible job of it. I don't know. I think worse than Camus is probably, like, I think probably one of the worst cases of unintentionally unsympathetic to me personally in a Fire Emblem game, apart from Edelgard maybe, is Carlisle from Sacred Stones, because it's like, you're supposed to see him as tragic, but, like, his motives make zero sense. He sold out his country because he was in love with the Queen. Like, how does that make any sense whatsoever? It's just like, what? Like, if you love the Queen, wouldn't you want to protect the country? Like, it's just like, I don't get that. Like, I guess you're kind of meant to feel bad for him because he used to be Joshua's teacher and like, oh no, please don't suddenly start moving.
Do not let him get away. Circle around and cut off his retreat.
Wait, he's running? What? Doesn't he want to what? Maybe this is where the meme of the Death Knight being scared of Lycidia comes from. What? Of all the things I picture the Death Knight doing when you're near him, turning tail and running is not what I expected at all. Wow, I have even more reason to not like the Death Knight now. He just kind of contradicted his own character to just run away. What? Like, I guess it could be, you know, a case of, you know, like what Matthew Mercer often does to his villains on Critical Role, you know, making them run to live to fight another day when the situation looks bad, but still, like, I'm very, very confused right now. I don't even, words cannot describe how confused I am at this point. Okay, I guess we can try this. Does Seth have a special... Is there any way Seth doesn't get doubled into Oblivion? And then I have Divine Pulses. I may as well test to see if the... Oh, and it... Oh, yeah. Now you drop a Dark Seal. It's a bit too little too late at this point, because Lawrence is already a Dark Knight. Okay, Divine Pulse time.
You will not escape, Death Knight. Today, you will be unmasked.
He does have a special boss conversation. Okay, that's impressive.
My true identity has no value.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry, I'm normally not this harsh on plots and characters, but this line right here totally sums up the Death Knight's character. My true identity has no value. You summed up why I don't think you're a very good villain right there. Like, again, him being Yuritsa adds nothing to the plot. Him being Emil adds nothing to the plot.
I will be the judge of that, once I've seen your face.
And, well, you know, Setta's gonna die. Yep.
Killer.
Sorry about that, Seth, but I needed to state my curiosity.
Steady now.
Ignatz will die horribly. Well, Gambiting will... Wait a minute, no. Isn't he immune to that? Like, the movement penalty? Yeah, nullifies that movement effects. Great. And movement effects. So I'm guessing that does nullify... Like, you'll still be able to move if I Gambit you.
What's my strategy?
But... Anyway, yeah, I'm so sorry about this, but it's just like... My true identity has no value. That's like a perfect summary of the Death Knight. Having a mysterious masked villain means nothing if who they are behind the mask, or the reveal of who they are behind the mask, adds nothing to the story. All the Death Knight's identity really does is make,
I'll do my best.
You know, make, Mercedes sad for about 10 seconds, and that's about it.
You lost that one.
And, like, you could say that him being Emil, him being Yuritsa, you know, it shows that, you know, there are traitors within Garruk Mok, but You know, Tomas already did that. Monica already did that. Finally, the Crest of Gloucester actually does something for you. I probably should have made him a mage earlier. If I had managed to get a Dark Seal off the Death Knight, which again, I was an idiot and forgot to steal at the last minute on that one map. But if I did manage to do that, then I would probably have made Lorenz a Dark Knight. He already is one. If I would have made Lorenz a Dark Mage by now.
I do this for all of us.
But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get overly negative here. I don't like getting overly negative, but just that line from the Death Knight just kind of sums him up to me and why I personally don't really like him.
I'll be home again soon. I will prevail.
Can she just grab a quick kill here?
No use. You are in my way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That whole tangent about, you know, Duke Von Aya didn't quite go the way that I was expecting it to, but that's just kind of how it happens in the moment. Sometimes you can't quite compose your thoughts, but anyway, I hope someone kind of understands what I was trying to get at with what I was saying.
I'm awake.
More fighting.
I believe you have special dance equipped as well. That was a very angry grunt for beginning it down. Oh, wait a minute. Please tell me that you're in range. Just barely. Okay. Please tell me this works. Yep, just barely at that. But if she misses, that's bad. Maybe I should do this before I have everyone else move, because that way, if she does miss, I can have someone else fight to change the RNG. And now, finally, after all this time, after chapter 17 of a second playthrough, I finally get to do what so many people do to the Death Knight the very first time they fight him. This.
I have no need of you.
Really? You seem to be scared out of your mind of her. Yep, that about sums it up.
Desire to slay me, follow. The appointed hour is at hand.
Follow? Wait, he's not dead? Interesting. Okay.
We've come this far. We cannot let him escape now. Everyone, after the Death Knight!
Okay, then that is over. I thought it'd be like, it'd be like chapter 13, where he'd respawn and we have to chase him down again, but no. And so, Lysithea finally fulfills her destiny of instantly spiking the Death Knight to death. I wish she had a crit rate there, because if she had crit with that, actually, I don't think she would have beaten Annette's record, but she probably would have come second.
It is coming.
Cutscene, okay.
Leave now, or all of you will die.
Wow, wall-running horse.
Run! We have to evacuate immediately!
Shouldn't you have said that, like, before the thing hit?
What just happened here? The fort. It's just gone.
I wonder if they redub that grunt. I mean, I know I shouldn't be dwelling on that now. I wonder if they redub that grunt with the new Byleth voice actor, but... So, okay. I was going to reveal this during the chapter, but I never got the chance, so I'm going to have to disappoint all of you. I got spoiled on Fort Merceus getting literally nuked. So that's why I didn't have that big of a reaction there. It's because I got spoiled on that, because someone didn't know I was actually planning on playing the church route blind, and so they told me, like, this is when I was discussing things with them, like, in a sort of a private chat. They told me, like, what was happening on the other routes at the time, and they said that, like, on, you know, chapter 18 on the Golden Deer route, then, you know, that happens. So, yeah, unfortunately, I got spoiled on that. And I think I know who was responsible. You know how all the way back I said, wouldn't it be interesting if we fought a technologically advanced faction in a Fire Emblem game? Well, yep, I guess now we know what happens when you do. So, are we going to go to the next chapter after this? Or, because part of me wants to just see, like, if there's any additional cutscenes. Or if it's just going to jump to the next chapter.
Whatever could that have been?
No, there are more cutscenes, okay.
It was almost reminiscent of that terror of legend.
I was wondering about that. ALL. What happened at ALL all those years ago? Well, I mean, this place is pretty much already bombed to the ground. There's probably no reason for them to be launching further missiles at us.
We haven't the time for stories.
Really? Come on, please tell me the legend. I want to know.
All we can do is retreat to the Great Bridge of Murden and assess our situation.
Unless the Great Bridge of Murden explodes as well.
Well now, that marching was nearly as trying as the battle itself.
Oh, and, like, that giant explosion wasn't trying at all?
We wasted a few days, but now that we're this far back, we should be safe. Or so I believe.
I still can't believe it. The fort was destroyed, just like that. The Death Knight knew about the attack. Was it the Empire's doing?
Yeah, he definitely knew. Oh, okay, right. I don't blame him for running now. Now I know why he was running. Okay, yeah, I take that back. I don't blame him for running anymore.
Guess that means they'd rather destroy the fort than lose it.
Whatever the case, we need to get our bearings and decide what we're going to do next.
We all have many questions, but for now we must focus on our next move.
Shouldn't we try and pinpoint the source of those and eliminate it? Because if we, you know, try and invade Enbar and it gets nuked, literally, that would be bad. There might not be a Fodlan left to rebuild after the war's over. Let's give up. Yeah, that's totally an option.
What? If we return to the monastery, then our situation is sure to... Ah, yes, I see.
Huh. Well, I don't know what he's implying here, so I guess I'll say this.
No need to hide your intentions from me. So, we make it appear as though we have ceased our invasion by returning to Garreg Mach.
Oh, okay.
Then we divide up our soldiers and infiltrate nearby areas of the capital, right under the Empire's nose.
I like to think that on this route, Zenith only thinks Byleth is coming up with the brilliant plans, but he actually just plays dumb and lets other people guess what he's thinking, and then after they do, he goes, "Yes, that's exactly what I was planning! I'm so smart!"
Finally, we gather all of those soldiers somewhere we can get to swiftly from Garreg Mach, and proceed to invade Enbar. Is that what you are thinking?
Yes, it was!
Are you serious? You know there's no guarantee that we won't be spotted by the enemy, right?
If we fail to convene, we will be isolated inside the Empire and be utterly obliterated.
Yeah, we are technically in the middle of enemy territory at the moment. We have to be backtracking all the way back to Garreg Mach, but yeah, like thinking about it that way, what? Like they never explain this on the Blue Lions route. On the Blue Lions route, you're directly invading the Empire, and yet you still have plenty of time to just run back to the monastery whenever you need to prepare.
I will be embracing the nearness of death if I am needing to. With each other.
That sounds dangerous. Really incredibly dangerous.
Make no mistake. If we fail in this plan, there will be no coming back from it. Are you sure about this, Professor?
Don't worry, if we fail, I'll tell everyone it was your plan.
I see. If you are resolved, then I will follow suit. We may be weaker, and the terrain may be against us. But all we can do is use our resources as best we can. That, and pray for the blessings of the goddess.
Well, I mean, she's right here, so... Okay, that's probably the real end of that chapter. And I'm also wondering, does that cutscene have two variants based on if you're on Golden Deer or not? Because the troops under our command very clearly had the sort of dark grey / red color scheme of the Resistance army. So, yeah, I wonder if, like, maybe Claude comments in that cutscene if you're on the Golden Deer route. That might be why there's so many more cutscenes left in the library, because they occur on both routes. They're just subtly different based on whether you're on this route or Golden Deer. So, next time, we pray that whoever shot those missiles doesn't have any more, because if they do, they... Honestly, why don't they just missile Garrick Mach? Like, that would just set us back so much. I don't know why they haven't done that already. Anyway, see you next time.